Hey, I've been doing my hair for 6 years now, and if you want to learn how to do your own braids, I have 4 important tips for you to get through it. Let's get into it. So here I am just showing you my bundles, the hair I'm using to braid my hair. I mixed the colors, I stretched it all, and everything. I did my hair for the Something in the Water Fest. Those 2 colors are for my add-in pieces. I like to keep them separated, but this is what it looks like. Also need the black bundle because it helps tone the color down. I actually ate Longhorn before I started doing my hair. You know, I needed something, and so that's my little sister and my fiance. Hey y'all. So my first tip is to buy yourself a braiding rack. Do yourself a favor. It helps you not waste so much time on trying to figure out the size or how much hair you need for each braid. So I made mine. I got 2 pieces of wood from Home Depot. I bought my 2 racks from Amazon. For the base, I used one of those food plates that you spin around, that you put cakes on, you spin around. I can't think of it. And then I added 4 wheels on the bottom of that spin around plate. You get me? I'm about to show you. But it's been the best investment because once I prep the hair and put it on a rack, that's all the hair prepping I'm doing. Like it's over. No more touching that hair. It's just time to install. And so you see, I'm able to just roll my rack wherever I am on a hard surface floor. I love it. Once I'm finished with the feed-in hair prep, I then move to the anchor braid prep. The anchor braid is the one braid I'm using as my 3rd leg to braid my hair. So this is the color that I'm using for my braids. This is what my braids is gonna look like. I wanted to try a little mix. I've always done plain, so this was my time to shine. But here I'm going to show you the prep. I'm telling you, just invest in a braiding rack. Build it or get 2 and set it on the counter. Do something. But I'm telling you, each braid you prep for like your hair, it has to take about 5 to 10 minutes each one. I don't care. For the sizing, to make sure it's stretched, to make sure it's the even amount with the rest of the braids. Save yourself the headache and just buy a braiding rack or make one like I did. It will save you time. And this tip is for the girls who really want to get better at doing their hair. So I just completed the process of prepping my hair before I actually do it, before I actually install the braids. This is what it looks like. Time saving hack. I promise you, on G. I didn't say how long it took for the hair prepping, but it probably took a few hours. But I do this the day before I start installing the braids. So now we're on the phase 2. This is where I prep my hair for the braids. I go do my parting, I part my rows, then I go back, and then I part for the individual parts, as you can see. This tip helps because you're not spending most of your time trying to make sure your parts and everything else is straight. Just do it all at one time. Now this is phase 3, installing the braiding hair for your braids. I start on the top and the perimeter because you'll see why later. I start by undoing my little twists from the pre-parting. Comb it out, make sure no knots, make sure it's not tangled up. Pull out some of my edges because we love edges. We want to keep our edges. And so then I grab for my anchor braid. I just use it as a 3rd leg and then just braid down. I do knot in, but I don't use a lot of hair because I end up adding hair as if it was knotless. As you can see, That's the side I'm grabbing from. You see it's not so thick, it's just little pieces. I go in for my second add-in piece. This helps with the consistency. Then I go in for a third piece. And you know, 3 pieces at the tippy top helps, you know, get that thickness of a braid that you want. I think that's the 4th one I'd add in. Braid it down. And if you feel like your braid is too skinny, just keep adding on those small little pieces. It helps. That's how you keep the consistency of your braids. But I'm gonna show you again. And so if your add-in hair is longer than your braid, you don't want that. You should have added it in, you know, at the middle of your braid. But once you get towards the end, only add in hair that's the length from where you need to add it to the end of your braid. You get me? Because you don't want to keep adding on hair and keep braiding, and then your hair is going to be really long, unless that's what you want. And so, you know what they say, first is the worst, second is the best. I'm going to tell you a second time on how I do it. We're going to run it back. Okay, so I start by taking out my twists, you know, from the pre-individual parts that I did. I comb through it. I add some braiding gel to it. You know, when I detangle it, make sure there's no knots, make sure it's not tangled. Then I go and grab my anchor braid. You know, that's the main braid, my 3rd leg braid. I just braid it in, you know, not in. And then once I get down about 4 rotations, maybe 5, I'll go in and add my first add-in piece, a very small piece. This helps the consistency all the way down. Then I add a second piece of small hair. You know, again, it helps with the consistency of my braid. I think that is my 4th piece of add-in hair. I just take it and I hit my head. Then I braid that down. You know, ain't no ball stopping me.
I'm a G, ain't no stopping me.
And then I go in and add my 4th piece. You know, every 10 rotations maybe. That's how I'm going. That's how I'm doing this. But I do be braiding my own hair. I love it. I love it. I really do. And yeah, it might take a long time, but if you want to do it, you'll do it. Here, this is why I start at the top and do the perimeter, because if I ever need to leave my house, you know, go get some more braiding hair, something, I can just take it and wrap it around. Easy, right? Easy peasy. Yeah, you can start from the back of your head and work your way up to the top of your head and then throw a cap on if you need to leave the house, but this way just works for me. So this is the final look. Yes, I did my whole entire head. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so yeah, I did this hair for the Something in the Water Festival in Virginia Beach. It's been like 2 years now since Pharrell actually did another one, but it's okay. But yeah, so cute. I then decided to do some curls at the end. All I had was those curls. I forgot what those things are called. Flexi rods. Yes, I use flexi rods to just, you know, curl the ends of my hair. I think I had a boiler. Yes, I had a water boiler when I did that. So obviously it was just easy for me to just dip the ends into the boiler. I feel like if you curl it this way, you're going to have to curl it like every 2 weeks, which is not bad, but the curls do drop if you use the flexi rods. But other than that, yes, I love my hair. I always do it. I love long hair. And so I hope my tips help you get your hair done faster. Like $200 for braids is too much. Do your hair in phases, do your hair in parts, pre-parts, buy you a braiding rack, prep your braiding hair on the rack one time, don't gotta worry about braiding hair for the rest of your install. And lastly, when you start your hair, start braiding from the top of your head and do the perimeter so you can wrap your hair in a bun if you need to leave your house. But that's it. If you got any helpful tips from this video, click that like button. If you want to see more hair videos, braiding videos, then click the subscribe button. Bye.